أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be showing you the way the Qur'an uses the perfect word for the specific occasion. Now this verse is in Surah Yusuf. It's talking about when the wife of the Aziz or the king wanted to seduce Yusuf alayhi salam. And what I want to draw attention to is just the first part of the verse, and in particular this word here, qaddat. So it says وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابَ وَقَدَّتْ قَمِيصَهُ. It says, and they both raced to the door, and she tore his shirt from the back. Yusuf wanted to get away from her, and she chased him and then tore the shirt from his back. That's the section that I want to talk about, and specifically the verb qaddat, which here is translated as she tore. Now it's interesting, in Arabic we have many words that mean to cut or to tear. Some of them are the following. So we have shaqqa, qassa, fataqa, mazaqa, qata'a. So there's some of the words that also have a very similar meaning, or in fact in Arabic they can be used interchangeably. Now the question is, why was this particular word used? So let's find out specifically what the word qadda means. Let me read it. I got this from Al-Mufradat, which is a classical dictionary, and it says the following. Qaddun, what is it? It's qat'u shay tulan, which is, it is the cutting or tearing or splitting of something lengthwise. So that's important here, lengthwise. So no other word has this meaning of lengthwise. So why is that important? Let's have a look. Now this is a shirt to demonstrate this. If somebody was chasing this particular person from behind and he's pulling at his shirt, how is he going to pull at the shirt? Obviously it's going to be from top and then pull it down this way. You're not going to do it from that way or from this way. Obviously when you're grabbing at something, you're going to be grabbing at from this part here and pulling down. So very appropriately, this particular word was used. Now, is that all? No, that's not all. There's more to it. Now, in Surah Jinn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses a word with the same root, which is the qaf, the dal, and the dal, two dals. Here. Qidadan. Here it's, let me just read the verse. It says, and among us are the righteous, and amongst us are others not so righteous. So this is referring to the jinn talking, and they're saying, we were of divided ways. So the question is, why does it have this particular meaning? We need to understand something, that words can also be used figuratively, not in the literal sense. So if one was to tear something, the pieces would be known as qidadun, actual pieces. But it can be used in a figurative way to mean divided groups or sects. So imagine you have a body, and this body splits up into groups, and these would be called qidad, sects or groups of people. In this case, in Surah Jinn, it's talking about righteousness and those not so righteous. Now, it's quite interesting that in Surah Yusuf, when it's talking about the tearing of the shirt, it's not just a tearing, a physical tearing. It's also talking about the tearing of the actual family of the king. Now we know that Yusuf was living with the king and his wife, and he was their servant. And after this event, the king and his wife and Yusuf, that family or the relationship they had was never the same. It was as if there was a tear and a divide between them. And we know that Yusuf ended up in jail. They wanted to cover up what the wife of the king did. So he was put in jail. And obviously the king had doubts about his wife and whether even to trust her. Now, this particular act of tearing, not only did this, but it also made a clear distinction between the intentions of Yusuf and the king's wife. So there was a clear divide between that. And it was very evident who was in the right and who was in the wrong. It made it clear Yusuf didn't want anything to do with this. وصلى الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي.